Howdy guys, Nathan coming at you from Denver, Colorado at TFL's satellite studio. And I have a special treat for you today. Our friends at Infinity have given us a project. Not just us, all of you. And it's free. And it's a three-dimensional car that you can build. They're calling it Origami. And it's part of their Park It For Now campaign. Now this campaign basically is stay at home, stay away, stay safe, and all that other stuff, but they're giving you something to do on top of it. And that is build your own three-dimensional model of an Infinity product. And in this case, it's the Q50. Now in the near future, they will be introducing other models that you can download for free, print out, and build. And I've done just that. That's right, done it myself. And I'll show you the results at the end of this video, but I want to take you through it, give you a couple little pointers, and show you how good, how awesome, how epic you can be at building your own three-dimensional Origami. It's taken from the word origami, three-dimensional paper designs that you can turn into little birds, or in this case, cars. Now, there is a link on this video to take you to the website, but also, if you want to, just quickly type it in. It's infinity.com/headlines/Origami, CARIGAMI.html. Boom, you're there. And you can select from different vehicles. The one I selected is the Q50 because it's the first one they made available. And it's also one of my favorite vehicles that they build because it is a hardcore sports car. Currently in North America, it's the closest thing you can get to getting a Nissan GT-R 4-door. It's really fast, 300 horsepower, twin turbocharged V6, all-wheel drive. We recently actually did a video with one of these vehicles, and it's just ridiculous how fast it is. So let's talk about what this project requires. It really helps if you have a printer at home. If not, you're going to have a really tough time doing this. You'll have to go somewhere else, which is the whole point, to not do that. So you need a printer, paper. I, by the way, recommend cardstock. Regular paper is really difficult to work with, and I'll explain that in a minute. Glue. Not this type of glue, but this type of glue, white glue. By the way, glue sticks work really well as well, but make sure that they're not dried like this one is, because it was really frustrating. They do recommend that you work with straight edge X-Acto blades. I found that working with scissors worked fine for me because I'm hand-fisted. Having a surface to cut on, which I used this, but you can use any surface that you don't mind completely destroying. They do recommend having a cutting surface, which I would recommend as well. There isn't much else that's needed except for your imagination. Now here's the cool part. As you're going through this project, you can make it your own. You can do things to make it really unique. And that goes for colors and some different types of designs. There are 3 pages, at least with the Q50, to print up. And those 3 pages will give you 3 different things. The body, the platform, tires, and mirrors are actually part of the body. And there's a step-by-step process, and it's relatively easy to figure out. It's just a question of whether or not you've had any experience with this before. So if you've never worked with paper or origami or gluing together three-dimensional automotive or anything for that matter, there's a lot of bending, there's a lot of gluing, and there's a lot of patience required. By bending, I mean actually bending little tabs on the paper. By patience, I mean a lot of it, a lot more than I have. And at the end of it, if you do it right, you can actually come up with a really cool looking model. Now, what you're going to be able to do with this is cut it out. And if you look carefully at this, or the instructions, more importantly, that Infinity provides for you, you'll notice that there are little tabs that you cut out. Those tabs, you have to absolutely make sure that you do cut them out, because if you don't do it right, bending and twisting and making it work will be difficult. I guarantee it. Once you cut out all of these, not just this, but the body, which is or the platform, which is the underside, and then of course the tires, you will glue them and you'll let them dry. Please let them dry before you try to put them all together. And then, boom, you put them together and you'll come up with a pretty cool product. Now, the thing is, a couple words of caution. Tires. The tires proved to be the most difficult part of this project. Now, when I was a little kid, I actually had like a book that had a whole bunch of these types of things in it, and you could cut them out, and they were slightly thicker paper, basically a cardstock. And I remember even back then, tires were such a pain in the neck. And they are today, too. So, when you're cutting out the tires, you have to make sure that you're actually cutting everything out, all the little tabs and everything else. Do it, or else you're going to have a really hard time getting the whole thing to hold together. And once you're done cutting everything out, I highly recommend that you pre-bend all the little corners first before gluing it. Trust me, it sucks if you don't. I am ham-fisted and a klutz, and I have a really hard time with being exact with anything that's small. So little things like cutting out wheel wells and these types of sections, they took a lot of time and patience. Once you've gotten past the tire stage, and good luck making them look good, but once you've gotten past that, make sure, once again, everything is nice and dry. I do recommend, if you have a glue stick that actually works, using that to hold together the little tiny fiddly bits is so much easier than using goopy glue. That's at least my point of view. Then, progressively, you'll put it all together and you'll come up with the finished product. Now mine is a little bit on the gray side, but as you can see, it looks really good. I was able to make it look a little bit different, actually SUV-ish. It's not the finished product, but this is my finished product. Now I know what you guys are about to say. What stepped on it? What the hell happened? The thing is, I'm kind of clumsy when it comes to cutting things out and doing that type of stuff. I'm still not completely displeased with the results, but at the end of the day, I know that you guys can do better. As a matter of fact, I'm banking on it, because I'm hoping that when you guys do this, maybe you send me or TFL a shot or a picture of your finished product, brag about how well it went together and how easy it was, and we'll post it on Twitter or one of our other social media accounts just to humiliate me a little bit further. I am rather proud of this, though. Look how far those rear wheels stick out. I like that. That is a very muscle car-like thing. It's not supposed to look like that. But, you know, the profile worked out all right, and I was able to get the platform on there the right way. For some reason, I just couldn't get the tires. I just absolutely screwed up on. I mean, I royally just blew it. But, you know, it was cool because it took me a good several hours, actually 3 hours, I'd say, all together with everything said and done, to put it together. And had I had a little bit more patience and decided to draw on it, I was going to put some pinstripes here going across, and then have a picture of Roman freaking out with me driving. Actually, I was going to do it Japanese style, so I was going to be driving and have Roman freaking out because, you know, right side driving. You know, his wig flying off and his teeth falling out while I was driving, and have Andre in the back with his big eyes bulging out, and Tommy back here screaming at us to drive better. So anyway, one final thing on this, in terms of little hints, I did manage to get the mirrors on. Yeah. Don't forget those. they're in there. You got to cut them out. I think I may have put them on upside down. I'm not 100% sure if those are right side up or upside down. But yeah, I tried. But the good news is it's all together. It is a three-dimensional model. It is finished. I don't know if Infinity will ever speak to me again after seeing my debacle. But I'm actually pretty pleased that I was able to do this. It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next models, which are coming out real soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little minor tutorial. I hope you guys are staying safe and sane, and so do our friends at Infinity, and that's why they provided it for us. Remember, this is part of the Park It For Now campaign, and we will have a link to the website, which will get you this stuff. And once again, don't forget to send it off to our various social media when you're finished with it. Nathan Adlin at Twitter, all that other stuff. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.